Hey guys, Lisa here with Keller Williams South Tampa. And is it just me or does it smell like updog in here? Alright guys, so today is a very special episode of Millennial Monday because it is our last episode of Millennial Monday. We are graduating from Millennial Monday. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop making videos. I am going to continue an educational real estate video series. I have a couple of ideas for names and haven't nailed it down just yet. But I won't be making them as frequently because I find myself in a position where I don't have the time that I expected to have because you guys have made me so busy. So thank you. It's the best problem to have. I appreciate you guys, okay? So that being said, this shirt I'm wearing this today as a kickoff casual Monday, like send-off shirt for Millennial Monday, but it's also because we're talking about Florida today, all right? So I'm gonna make a video today that it feels like a culmination of other videos, but this is incredibly laser focused on one topic, and that is why you should stop trying to time the market. I keep seeing a lot of like memes and I hear a lot of rhetoric, and I'm having a lot of conversations with young people about like, waiting for the next housing crisis so you can get a good deal. Guys, you just have to do your homework, right? Before I say anything, this video is my intention is not exclusively to sell you something. If you're not ready to buy, you're not able to buy, I will work with you and I'll help you prepare, just like any of my lenders. I'm not trying to force something that isn't right for you. That's not what I do. I'd much rather you love your home and have a good memory of the experience of buying it than to resent it, right? So that being said, this is not a sales pitchy thing. This is literally to educate you guys because I think there's a lot of misinformation floating around there. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna break this down simply into 3 categories, okay? To help you understand why not all things are created the same as they were in 2008, okay? We're gonna talk about the past, we're gonna talk about the present, and we're gonna talk about the future. And between these 3 things, I hope that you will have a more clear vision of why trying to time the market might not be in your best interest. I will say that this is all speculation, okay guys? I could be wrong. I am not pretending to be an economist or an expert, and anybody who tells you they can see into the future is probably trying to sell you something, right? I'm speculating. I'm speculating based on data. This is an educated speculation, and I want you guys to have this information, okay? So let's talk about the past. What happened with the 2008 housing crisis? To put this succinctly, it was a subprime lending crisis. Subprime mortgages are defined as mortgages, mortgages that are lent to, like basically money lent to a borrower whose credit is below 600 and may not be able to repay it. So before 2008, that was a huge problem. Upwards of 14% of loans were subprime mortgages. And of those 14%, 84% were issued by private banks and not federally backed, okay? Today in lending, I don't work with a single lender who's going to go that low. And I don't work with lenders who have predatory loan programs that they're going to give to my clients. I am constantly receiving phone calls, emails, being courted by lenders who are fly-by-night, offering ridiculous things. I don't work with those people and I don't refer those people because I don't stand by their work, okay? So if I'm working with someone, it's because I know that they're capable of helping you and they care and they're ethical, okay? So basically, another big thing for the housing crisis was that they went on stated income instead of verified income. So this was also referred to as like the breath test. So if you told them you could afford it, they were like, all right, well, you said you could afford it. We don't do that anymore. That doesn't happen. Everything is verified with paper before you get a pre-approval letter. And again, I don't work with lenders who write crap pre-approval letters, all right? Dodd-Frank. Dodd-Frank was implemented after the housing crisis to prevent it from happening again. It is a long, long bill, but the too long didn't read version of it is that it strengthened lending restrictions. So it's harder to get lending now, significantly harder to get a loan now. So those who are qualified and can qualify for a loan are good. Like, if you can qualify for a loan, that's awesome. If you cannot, the lender really should be helping you get to a place where you can, okay? So where are we today? Let's talk about where we are today. The national average for the median, national median for home sales in this country is 250K. For the state of Florida, that's 238. So, are we getting up there? Are we getting close? Yes, we are. But we still have a little bit of breathing room. And if you look at the affordability, Florida compared to most states, like, we have a high level of affordability. And in terms of real estate, I know that this feels really jarring. It feels really scary because if you're from here, you've seen the prices increase like crazy. It makes sense. And the next section will explain why that is. But it feels worse than it actually is for us. So you guys, we have to keep in mind, real estate's local, but there are a lot of circumstances, a lot of things that go into this and that impact it, right? Not all regions are created equal. So let's talk about the future. And really what's been happening, this is a little bit of both, but Florida is seeing an average of 900 people per day migrating to the state. That's crazy. So right now our population is somewhere around 22 million, and we are on track to exceed our 2030 projections for population. That's a lot of people, and those people need somewhere to live. We are the third most populous state in America, and there's kind of like a chicken and an egg situation here, right? We're going to talk about why that is. Why are people coming here? Okay. So we have a lot of retirees. Think about boomers who are retiring. They're coming down to live here because it's a lot easier to live in Florida than it is to live up north, right? Our quality of life in general, even for people who are not retirees, is much higher than a lot of the colder states. And I work with people who are from up north, and they tell me that they don't miss shoveling the snow out of their driveway. I've never had to deal with that, so I wouldn't know. But we have beaches, we have theme parks, we have no state taxes. There are a lot of really great things about living in Florida, and people know that. The other thing is, you want to look at the economics of it. People go where jobs are, and Florida has a great, healthy job market. We're number 7 in the country. Okay, our state GDP has increased 40% over the last 10 years. Okay, now it's not just boomers and retirees who want to live here either. It's also young people, not just because of the job market, but millennials and Gen Z. These are two demographics of people who prefer to live in more urban, eclectic environments where there's a greater sense of community, okay? And we have a lot of those communities here. That being said, I just wanted to remind you guys, millennials, we can kind of step aside soon because Gen Z, really, they're coming into the market. It's crazy. The oldest Gen Z member right now is 25 years old. And so you're looking at millennials being between 26 and 39. So the oldest millennial is going to have their 40th birthday this year. It's pretty crazy, right? Like, I just had my 30th. So millennials make up a minimum of 33% of the housing market, okay? And then Gen Z comes right after us. They're going to want more of the eclectic community feel. And it's not just our neighbors from other states who want to live here or want to buy land and real estate here. There's a lot of international interest from international investors. In order, the top 3 most popular states for international investment are Texas, Florida, and Arizona. These 3 states are going to see large increases in their populations in the next few years, as well as a likely appreciation in their home values, okay? So that being said, I wanted to kind of break down the basic economics of this for you guys so you can see what I mean, so that I'm not just pitching you something, right? Like, I want you to have context. I want you to understand it. If you really, like, the thing that you need to keep an eye out for in terms of predicting the next housing crisis, you really want to make sure or look out for lending regulations. Once they start loosening lending regulations and making it too easy for people to qualify for loans that can't necessarily pay them back, that's when we start seeing home values being inflated, and that's when we start seeing all the foreclosures and short sales, okay? That's how the housing crisis happens. So that being said, when is the right time to buy? The right time to buy is when you're ready to buy and when you're able to buy, okay? I don't think that timing the market is necessarily in your best interest. Can I be wrong? Absolutely. I mean, like, there's no way for me to guarantee that what I'm saying is correct, but that's why I presented data, because I like numbers and I want to share them with you guys. Because if you're going to speculate, it should be based on hard data, okay? Don't believe everything you see and hear and read. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in for the last episode of Millennial Monday. I super appreciate you, and I hope you have a happy, healthy, productive week. Let me know what I can do to help. All right, bye.